Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I want to make this a quick video. This is going to be about TypeScript and why I absolutely love it and why I think it's the version of that JavaScript should have been. And that's because it adds some features that JavaScript really misses, and that is modularity, like the ability to import modules, and the ability to type check. Like, those are the two main things, because I feel like when I'm developing JavaScript that 50% of the time I'm fixing typos or calling functions that don't exist, or like addressing properties that don't exist, all because of typos, or I'm missing parameters or functions. All these kind of things that are handled in languages like C# and Java, because they check at compile time if you've done everything right. But JavaScript doesn't have this feature, and that is where TypeScript comes in. And the reason I want to make this video is because while TypeScript is really nice, especially on server side, I think it's pretty easy. But there are a little hooks and eyes, a little bit stuff that's that you have to be a little bit careful of, that they don't really address in the documentation, especially client side. The way that you need to set up your project so that everything so that it works. So. Yeah, and so I was kind of surprised that there wasn't really a subject about it on there. So I strongly encourage you to type along with me, and you're gonna need the TypeScript compiler. So you need to npm install -g TypeScript it. If you don't know what npm is, it's the package manager for JavaScript. But if you don't know what that is yet, I think you should first have a look at the note, which you probably do. So download that sucker, and we're gonna do the easy thing first. We're gonna get the server side stuff working, and that's pretty easy. So this would be your say your server or something, and everything is fine, everything is dandy. You just call it. You need to compile it first. I suggest you put that in your package.json on the start, or something like that. And I recommend you put everything you're typing in the source folder, and everything that's going to go out in the in and out folder. So put in ts TypeScript compile, the file, the JavaScript file that is the start of everything. Put in out directory with and specify it. I also recommend you put watch on it, and I also strongly recommend you put source maps on. Because if you have a good debugger, that's the reason why I'm using Visual Studio Code, that supports TypeScript debugging, then I think that's a godsend. I think there are also a few other debuggers for TypeScript. I think Iron Node on npm is one, and I think IntelliJ has one. This is one where I made a big mistake, and I'm gonna show you. What you absolutely not need to do. You need to use, if you're on server side, you need to use this. Don't use this. I will show you later. But if you use this, then for some reason, I don't really understand why, but it will leave you with a totally blank file, and nothing will work. So don't make my mistake. I was looking at hours why my code wasn't working, and it is because the reason is because I was using this this thing instead of this. This is what you need if you're going to use server-side. If you're doing server-side development in TypeScript, this is what you're going to need if you're doing client-side TypeScript, which we're going into later. So use this one if you're going to do server-side. So out there, I usually call it out. Yeah. So the example they give in the documentation is like a greeter function or something. Need to export stuff, which I love this syntax, but and then the idea is that you can use it over here. Whoop. And yeah, if everything is alright, you can call the compiler and it should spit out these map files. That's for the debugger. And here you should see the generated code, and you can see that it oh yeah, don't forget to use it, otherwise it will get optimized away. Yeah, and you can see that the require keyword is used like normally. Note you use the require keyword, and you can see that the import statement has been replaced with this require one. You can also use require in TypeScript. I just it's whatevs, but I prefer this export and import. It sounds a little bit nice to me, but you can use both things. So that was everything on the server side, and that was pretty easy, if I don't say so myself. Where it gets a little bit trickier is on the client side, and they talk about it a little bit in these 3 parts. There's somewhere in is like one alinea or like one line where they talk about it somewhere. Really briefly, I don't think they cover it enough. And that's one of the reasons why I make this video. But if you want to get that stuff working, once again, set up your compiler. So TypeScript compile, say where you want to begin. So yeah, I usually begin the main. Here you want to use the out file, want to specify in which file everything gets combined. Also tell it to watch, and I also really strongly suggest that you also put on the source maps. So if you've done everything right, and for instance you call the compiler and stuff, you should get your bundle.js file. Also the map file, and you'll need to put like as a source. You need to put it there in your in the script file. So far so good, but now you want to start using all your TypeScript functionality. And as you can see, everything is good. It prints hello, and it does what you'd expect. But now you're gonna want to use your greeter function, or your other file, which pretty much yeah. So you want to use your other file, function greeter. And you're gonna want to use that. So what did they call it? Greeter. And you wanna call that stuff. Yeah, I was kind of why isn't like it should say that something is wrong over here. I wasn't. I was kind of worried, for some reason. Yeah, and it says here, function greeter, very logical, but you can't use the import statement here because that is gonna use the require keyword, and you probably already believe me if I say this, but client side you can't use the require keyword. It doesn't exist. It's not defined, so you can't use this import from thingy. So what they've thought up with the reason, so they've come up with a new way that like takes into account the system the browser uses to like use other files, because normally you would just put like a lot of script tags above each other, unless you're like using a bundler like require.js or something. But usually you'd put a lot of files next to each other, and but we want to use TypeScript, and the way TypeScript made this up is you need to tell the compiler that yes, that file does exist, we have made it, and this is where you need to look for it. So you need to use 3 slashes and then do it this way, /greeter, and here you need to put the extension file, the extension behind it. And I'm still kind of surprised that this also should throw an error, I think. Oh. Okay, and apparently that's all. Yeah, but now and this is fine and everything, but what you this is what you all sometimes also see is that this gets wrapped in, so that works, and you can use that, that's fine, but sometimes if you like want to like group things together, you can put a namespace around it, so like you can call it utils or something, and you can export it, and I think now it should give an error. No? Okay. For some reason the highlighting of TypeScript is slowing down for some reason, but this is wrong, and what you're gonna need to do is, if I'm right, is you can because you've put this / directive, the compiler now knows that this util thing exists, so you can use this. Okay, now it's coming together for some reason, and you can say util.greeter, and this should work, but you probably don't want to use this. You can you can do this. And now you also have your greeter. Oop. And this also works. You can do it a simple way. You don't need to wrap it in this namespace thing, but usually like you put like all the stuff you put like in another file, like kind of needs to like the idea is that it kind of needs to stick together. So that's why you usually put this namespace thing around it. It's just a little container. It doesn't do anything. But sometimes you see it. But you can also just not put the namespace around it. That's also fine. But now you can like selectively export stuff. That's also kind of nice. You can have like if you don't put export in it, you can have like private functions or something like that. Not really private, but a little bit similar. Well, I hope you liked it. And the reason why all this stuff I like it so much is mainly because of this reason. This is like the most important thing to me. See, you can't make silly mistakes anymore, like forgetting parameters or like making silly typos or something. Like you can't make these silly typos anymore. And I feel like 50%, like I said in the beginning, 50% of the time I feel like I'm fixing typos or other really small stupid details. And TypeScript fixes all this stuff. And if you're using a good editor, it also features a lot of other like ease of life, like improvements of life, like all these kind of stuff that's normally for some reason not possible in JavaScript. Like these kind of little things that I think make a world of difference. And yeah, I feel like this is what JavaScript should have been. Like JavaScript is fine and all, but it just misses like two or three like key, very important features, and TypeScript like at least fixes like the most important one of those. So I hope I could like do this. I helped like showcase this little bit of TypeScript, and like the most important part, like helping you with setting things up, and like showing you that there is a difference if you're using TypeScript on the browser or on client side or server side. So yeah, that's what I wanted to teach you, or wanted to show you, show you today. And I hope I could convince you to like switch over, or at least give TypeScript a try, because I think it makes all the difference. Well, have a nice day, everybody. See you later.